Is it murder time? Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to Killing All the Right People, I think it's called. I almost said Murdering All the Right People. Killing All the Right People, best part of the show. This is a YouTube reaction donation reward from Isabella, and I don't know what this is. It's a YouTube video, but it's a clip from a show. I don't know what the show is offhand. I haven't watched the clip, obviously, but I don't know like what it is. The thing, it doesn't sound familiar in any way. So I have nothing to kind of go off of here. The title, "Killing All the Right People," sounds bad, honestly. Like, what does all the right people mean? Like, what is the context here? Because that sounds pretty bad, if I'm being completely honest. Um, but I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see what this is. But the video is also called "Best Part of the Show," so it's some TV show, and it's like someone at least considers this like the best part. Um, I don't know what to think. I just genuinely don't know what to think. So I can't say too much. Why bother wasting any time then? We're gonna get into this. See what this has in store. It's very short, but I could just use something very short and simple today. So hey, no harm. That being said, I was thinking of like pairing this up with something else because, like I said, it's super short. It's like only a couple minutes long. But I decided not to. And kind of the reason comes down to, like I said, I just wanted something really short, really simple today. Last week was a little hectic. There was just a lot going on, a lot we had to do. So I wanted this week just to be a lot more simple if I could work it out. At least a lot more simple, just comparatively to everything else. So I hope it's okay that this is just going to be super short, super simple, not much of anything going on. Next week, hopefully we'll do something longer for the YouTube reaction. But in the meantime, let's see what this is. So, before we begin, I do want to remind you all that we have a plethora of awesome content to check out on this channel. Between Monday and Friday, we have a lot of great series reactions. And on Mondays, we have YouTube reactions like this, or at least YouTube adjacent. Whether it be shorts, specials, mini-series that just don't have enough episodes, or actual YouTube videos. Anything that doesn't quite fit into a full series reaction or a movie reaction goes in this slot. And speaking of the latter, we also do have movie reactions on this channel every Saturday and Sunday. They're pre-recorded earlier in the week, but uploaded on the weekends. That every day has some kind of reaction content going on for it. We also have a couple of Let's Plays that we are currently going through on the channel. We have Spider-Man 2 every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Really been enjoying this. I'm getting close to the end of the game in terms of recordings, but there's still plenty to go in terms of uploads. But just if you are new to checking out the Let's Play for Spider-Man 2, I do want to warn you real quick that there is some audio issues. There's some audio issues in the first 9 parts, especially parts 5 through 9. This was my first time doing a Let's Play via a capture card, so there's a lot of things I had to figure out, get set up. So bear with me, but I think by episode 10 we've gotten everything fixed, and for the entire rest of the Let's Play, everything is good. It's just those first 9 parts, especially again 5 through 9, that have these issues. Those were like 2 different recording sessions, my first 2, and I messed something up going into the second recording session, which is 5 through 9. and that's why it has those issues. And I didn't notice. I had no way of noticing it until after it was already recorded. But yeah, the Let's Play is still a great time, even with those issues. It's just some desync issues and all. But that being said, we do also have Anno Mutationum on Saturdays. This is a donation reward Let's Play for Matthew Vasquez, and yeah, it's pretty enjoyable. It's pretty wacky and silly and weird. Um, and if you want to know how to engage in donation reward Let's Plays and donate for a future PS5 Let's Play yourself, there is a specific video to check out on the channel. Just go to the channel search and type in June Double Reward Month PS5. It should take you to the right video, and will give you all the information you need to get going on that. So yeah, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you should be good from that point forward. And with that, I think it's about time we get going, so let's do so. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, because yes, we do redirect all of our reactions on this channel. You know how YouTube's copyright system is honestly pure shit? Well, because of that, it's really hard to get reactions up on YouTube without just provoking YouTube's broken system. So because of that, I want to keep things safe. I want to avoid any possible channel strikes, or even worse, a channel termination, which I have dealt with before and don't want to deal with again. I want to avoid that stuff by pushing all the reactions off to another site. I know it sucks, and you don't want to have to click all these extra links just to get to the reaction. You'd rather watch it just right here. But it is only one link, just that one in the description below. It takes you straight to the video page. You don't have to worry about anything else. And on the plus side, it does mean that all of you, yes, every single one of you, gets to see the full unedited reaction completely free. No paywalls, no Patreon, and you don't even have to sync up your own copy. I think that's pretty awesome. Not a lot of reaction channels have been able to get away with that for one reason or another, all valid reasons. But I do pride myself in being able to give that to you all, especially since I have to redirect everything to avoid any possible bullshit. So I hope that you all enjoy the full unedited reactions for every series, every movie, everything we put out. It's just something that I really, really do love that I can give to you all. And after you watch the reaction, you can come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will not only contain spoilers to, in this case, the clip from the series, but my just general thoughts on it as well, plus possibly other stuff related to the channel and whatnot. It's always worth checking out. That being said, though, thank you as always so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoy. Leave your comments down below, but for now, I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, when I said at the end there's not a huge amount to discuss, I just want to make clear here. I mean in terms of, like, this is a 2-minute single scene from a show that I don't even know what the fuck this show is. But it doesn't leave a lot of room to really, like, process information unless you know the context here. Let me see if I can find what this is real quick. Killing all the right people. AIDS sitcom. Designing Women? Apparently, this is from like the episode is called "Killing All the Right People." Trying to see if I can find anything here. Emogene was the name, yeah. Okay, yeah, this is definitely it here. Apparently, this is from season 2, episode 4 of, again, the sitcom Designing Women. It is from 1987. Now, I have never heard of this sitcom before. It's not something that, like, has just ever been talked about, I guess, in circles around me. There's a lot of sitcoms even from before I was born. I was born in 92, for those who are curious. There's a lot of sitcoms from before I was born that I know of, or have even seen at least some of. This is not one of them. I don't have the context for this. I'm not going to read what the entire episode was about. Um, but I feel like it probably is like entirely centered around this entire issue because this came out in 87, like in the midst of the AIDS crisis and everything. So this was a massive topic. And at least here in America, people were very divided over this. There were a lot of people who not only like were defending, gay people, but were also just trying to make sure people understood that this was not like a gay exclusive disease, that straight people could just as easily get it. The only reason it became known as a gay disease is because of propaganda at the time, because of political discussions that tried to paint it as such, and because the most well-known cases and the most commonly occurring cases that people knew about were gay men specifically. It even mentions in here lesbians don't seem to get it as much and everything. And I don't know all the like science and breakdowns of why it affected gay men so specifically often. Why like everything is like it's hard to word because it's like this is obviously something I know about as a queer person and everything, but it's not something that I'm like the most familiar with in terms of the ins and outs. And when you have a more base level understanding of it like I do, I'm definitely not the right person to speak as like any kind of expert on it. So I want to make that clear. But I have heard some people talk, and I've heard people discuss this entire thing. And keep in mind, like I said, I was born in 92. I was born, like, at the end point of this entire thing. And so I have a different experience growing up when I did. And this isn't a crisis anymore at this point in the way it was then. But like this can be transmitted through like sharing of bodily fluids and whatnot, things like that. And again, straight people can get it too through those kinds of methods. It goes into this a bit in Philadelphia, which we did react to on the channel. I just don't remember all the details it talked about in there as well, because it's been a while. I did watch a reaction to it recently, but it was, a reaction and it was cut down and everything. Either way, um, yeah, there's a lot that I feel like people in this time misunderstood about it all. And just a lot of trouble that came from that. Thankfully, people have gotten a lot more educated since then. But the crux of this clip also comes down to extreme homophobia. This Imogen, whatever her name was, this lady who was bitching about all of this was doing so because of very clear, very open extreme homophobia. And this isn't the only sitcom to touch on heavy social issues, not by a long shot. In fact, I'd say probably most sitcoms touch on social issues quite a bit. I'll give two examples here. This isn't this first example isn't directly connected to this, but I do want to mention it in terms of social issues and whatnot. Fresh Prince of Bel Air. I grew up watching Fresh Prince. It's, in my opinion, one of the best sitcoms ever. And it touches on social issues quite a lot because it is a sitcom with a core black cast. In fact, the vast majority of the characters in it are black. And so it touches very much on topics that are relevant to that, such as the police mistreating black people just because of the color of their skin, compared to how they treat white people when they pull them over and whatnot. It touches on all kinds of different topics that are relevant to, like, Philadelphia during the time, because that's where Will was from, but also to, black people living in Bel Air. Because, rich, very majority white neighborhood, and you have this wealthy black family with a with a house guest, basically, who is part of the family, mind you, but who is from a very poor neighborhood. And it touches on social inequality, touches on monetary inequality, stuff like that, all the time. But then there's another show that I think is just as, if not even more popular than Fresh Prince, that did touch on queer topics. Notably so. A show that was transcendently progressive for its time and made huge leaps and bounds that would almost be unheard of. And if it was released nowadays, you would have the right attacking it constantly. Yet so many people on the right actually fondly think about this show and fondly remember this show, maybe just willfully forgetting that The Golden Girls is one of the most progressive sitcoms in history. It touched on topics of queer people quite a few times, I believe, and was always making statements in support of them, was always showing support for the queer community. And it touched on other social topics as well, of course, but this is relevant here. It's great to see when a sitcom does this, where it's like a show that is mostly focused around, comedic social situations and whatnot, can touch on real life issues at the time and talk about them in a smart, important way. I think the best sitcoms do that. And Golden Girls definitely did. Now, this series, again, I don't have any context for these characters for the rest of this episode. I don't know how much the rest of this series goes into topics like this, but the way this was handled here was right. This is how this kind of thing should be handled. Like, when she started to attack, they at first tried to reason with her. Because that is the first thing you should probably do. See if you can talk them through it. See if you can understand why they're thinking this way. Because sometimes people just need to be listened to and talked to change their mind. It can sometimes work that way. Unfortunately, most of the time it doesn't. But you should at least give it a shot. But when that doesn't work, especially if they double down and become even worse, yeah, you kind of have to just basically say fuck it and drop their asses. Tell them that they're no longer welcome. Tell them that you are not going to put up with that. That is the right thing to do. You don't have to attack them. You don't have to get like physically aggressive or anything. But you should definitely tell them and let them know that what they're doing is unacceptable, whether around you or not. And these other women here, these other people here, tried to give her a chance. They genuinely did. They tried to reason with her. She wouldn't take it and just doubled down, tripled down, just increased her attacks and everything. And it's sad, but these people just do exist. People who will not listen to reason, who don't care. All they care about is their bigotry. In fact, I've heard people in the past say that a lot of times, a lot of these people, it's not even so much that they like strongly believe in this stuff. It's not even a matter of like, oh, if you tried reasoning with them, they'd see the truth or whatnot. A lot of them know the truth. And I've heard a lot of people make this argument. A lot of them know the truth. In this case, like, they know there's nothing wrong with gay people. They absolutely know that. But they choose to ignore it so that they can still have some kind of excuse for their hatred. Whether or not they actually believe there is an issue there, they still hate these people, and that's all they care about. They just want to spread that hate. And that's more of the issue. A lot of these people just want to spread their own hatred, their own biases, their own, like, problems with others. A lot of times they understand that they're wrong because they've been proven wrong. And they know that they're wrong. But they just don't give a shit. Because it doesn't matter if they're right or wrong. They still hate these people. I've seen this plenty of times. Where it's like where the blind hatred is just all that matters to them. And yeah, it seemed like this was like based on what they were saying at the end, it seemed like this was like a customer or something for this other lady's like business or whatnot, from what I could tell. And she has every right to refuse her service if she's being like, if she's attacking people, especially people who are right there and all. It's like, you're not refusing them service for like no reason or anything. It's like they're attacking other customers or friends or whatnot. It's like, that's fair. it's not even necessarily refusing business because of her beliefs. Though I think the idea of refusing homophobes business because of their beliefs is hilarious, considering they're all about refusing people business because of, being gay and everything. You remember the entire wedding cake scandal thing that happened? It's a funny irony to refuse them business for those beliefs. Because here's the thing: if they believe that businesses should be allowed to refuse to serve a queer couple in terms of a wedding cake or a wedding dress or whatnot, stuff like that, then the right has to be on both sides. The business should be refused to them because of their beliefs too, right? That's just fair. And if that's not the case, if that's not what they want, if that's not what they mean, then that means that they see queer people as subhuman. That they are using caste to put an entire group of people below them. And at that point, they don't deserve anything. Like, they deserve all the business refused to them, and they can fuck off. Because it's like, caste bullshit is just so systematically terrible. But I'm not going to get into that huge thing here today. Because I've already been talking a surprisingly long amount on this 2-minute video. And just things related to it. But this was, it's thought-provoking, and it's definitely something to check out during Pride Month. I didn't know what this was about, so it just worked out that way. I didn't know this was going to be perfect for Pride Month, but when you look back on it, it kind of makes sense, because it's like terms like this, phrases like this were used to attack gay people during this time period. Saying that the AIDS crisis was killing all the right people. That's absolutely things people said. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense in hindsight, but at the time, like before watching this, I had no idea what the context at all was for this. Um, in terms of the acting for this, it was pretty much what you'd expect from a lot of sitcoms. But I would say like even like lower budget sitcom, because it's like you see something like Golden Girls or Fresh Prince or whatnot, and it's like, oh yeah, the acting is drastically better on stuff like that. It wasn't bad though. I will say that it wasn't bad. Um, but yeah, it was interesting to say the least. And it's definitely something I don't think I would watch the entire show for. But if you want to give me context for more stuff with this in the comments below, please feel free. For the time being, let me know your thoughts on this clip to this sitcom that I've never heard of. And I'm just going to tell you right off the bat, if you're going to try and come in here and be a shit ass about gay people and queer people and everything, fuck off. Just don't even start with that shit. It's Pride Month. I'm not putting up with that. I mean, I'm not going to put up with that shit at any time of the year, but especially not during Pride Month. So if you think you're going to come in here and just start shit, just fuck off. You will be blocked. I'm just not dealing with that shit. So yeah. In the meantime, I do want to remind you all once again that we have a lot of great content on the channel. Every Monday through Friday, we have a plethora of awesome series reactions, and on Mondays, we have YouTube reactions such as this. Shorts, specials, mini-series that just don't have enough episodes, or something actually on YouTube. Things like that, where it's just YouTube adjacent most of the time. But a lot of the time, it is like stuff I find on YouTube, at least. We also have movie reactions, though, every Saturday and Sunday. I record them during the week and upload them on the weekend so that every day has some sort of reaction content going for it. We also have a couple of Let's Plays currently going. Every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, we have Spider-Man 2, and every Saturday, we have Anno Mutationum. Anno Mutationum is also a donation reward Let's Play for Matthew Vasquez. If you would like to learn how to donate, you can check out the video on the channel. For that, all you have to do is go to the search on the channel and type in June Double Reward Month PS5. It should take you to the right video, and that'll tell you everything you need to know in regards to it. Or you could just ask me in the comments below, on the Discord server in a private message, on another piece of social media. If you really feel the need to, if that's more comfortable for you, that's fine. And if you want clarifications on certain things, feel free to ask as well. But all of that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts down below. And for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.